Hi, I'm Pastor David with Declaration Church, and perhaps you've heard the very common, very popular saying, at least in the United States, that there's no such thing as a free lunch. Have you ever heard that? And really in our society, it really feels true. In fact, most of the time in our lives, in our world, in the way that we live, we really believe that anything that comes to us that's good or bad, whatever it is, for the most part, we've earned it. We've worked for it. So if we really want something, we have to put in the effort. We really have to work to get the things that we want in this world. And that's the way it seems to work, and that's the way we really seem to live. At least that's the way I always was taught growing up. I was really taught to expect nothing more than what I had earned. So if I was going to put forth the effort, then I could expect equal amount of return for my effort. And so we approach a lot of times God in the same way. We look at God and we say, okay, if I really want to make it into heaven, I'm going to have to earn my way there. I'm going to have to make the effort to get what I want out of this life, what I want in eternity. If I'm going to make something desirable of my future in eternity, I need to put forth the effort. And while God has set aside good works for us to do, when we come to Him and when that God expects us to live in a way that honors Him and to work according and obey righteousness is one way that Romans puts it. There is an interesting verse in John chapter 6 that I'd like to draw your attention to. In fact, it's two verses. It's a short passage in John chapter 6, starting in verse 28, because this crowd of people is actually asking Jesus that very question. So John 6, verse 28, it reads this way. Then they said to him, "What must we do to be doing the works of God?" Isn't that something that you've asked yourself? It's something I've asked myself. What do I need to do to really do what God wants me to do? What God expects? How do I do the works of God? How do I work for Him? And this is Jesus' response. It's very telling. Jesus answered them, verse 29, "This is the work of God." So He's just going to answer it directly. He's going to give us the answer that we're looking for when we ask Him the question, what must we do? That you believe in Him whom He has sent. You see, what Jesus is saying is that the first thing we need to do, if we're going to honor God with our lives, if we're going to do the things that God expects, the first thing we need to do is we need to place our trust and our faith in the one He sent, in Him, in Jesus Himself. So if you really want to do what God wants you to do in your life, if you really want to live out your purpose, if you really want to have the abundant life Jesus said He came to bring us, if you want to accomplish the purpose for which you've been created, the first thing you need to do is put your faith in Jesus Christ, because that's where you begin to find the freedom and the grace, the power to do what God has asked you to do. That is the work of God, is to first place your faith and trust in the one He sent. So if you want to really work in this life to honor God, if you want to do the works of God, if that's something you're interested in, then the first thing you have to do is place your faith in Jesus Christ. So I hope that's an encouragement to you. If you're already a follower of Jesus, if you're a disciple today, then you've already taken that first step. And so you're already then working towards doing the works of God. You've already done the first work of God, and that is to place your faith and trust in Jesus. And if you haven't done that already, I encourage you to explore what that looks like and to take that step, to place your faith in Jesus so that you too can be doing the works of God. If this video is encouraging to you, go ahead and share it with somebody else. Give it a thumbs up. Let us know that these videos are encouraging you, that they're benefit to you. And share it with somebody else, and then subscribe to the channel. Just click the little subscribe button, click the thumbs up, and then let other people know, hey, these videos are good. They're helping me out. Maybe you should check them out too. I think they'll be a benefit to you. So as always, I'm Pastor David, and I'm out.